This is a video that I've been meaning to make for quite some time. I don't know how this is going to go because usually when I talk about stuff, I'm an expert in that field, unless it's current affairs, Conor McGregor taking steroids, or the Liver King also taking steroids. In fact, there's a lot of steroid related videos on this channel, yeah. But it is a fitness channel, so that's why those are the topics that are heavily discussed. Now, I don't know where I'm going to go with this on this particular topic, but it is a topic that I feel needs to be discussed. For me, it's a new topic in the sense where I'm not an expert about it. I have no idea what that is, what the statistic is. I just know that it is happening a lot. I have a laptop in front of me right now, but I'm not going to get into the break the statistics down. But I know it is a fucking pandemic. Let's be honest, yeah. And the thing I'm talking about is suicide in men. I know it's one of those topics. It's not a taboo subject anymore, but it kind of still is in the sense where men aren't talking about it. Should they talk about it? That is another topic. In fact, I'll kind of cover base with that a little bit in this video as well. Now, this video is titled, Why You Should Not Kill Yourself. And that is what I strongly believe. No one at any point should kill themselves. I'm not saying there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I know some people have it shit, and I'm no one to talk about someone else's experience. We all have been through shit, our own shit, which we think is bad. You can have a rich kid saying, fucking hell, you know, I'm not allowed PlayStation for a week. And then there's a kid sat in Syria somewhere who hasn't eaten for the past week. So what's hard in one? What's hard in another? Who are we to judge? We're no one. We all go through difficulties. Now, I often use that analogy in my own life when things have gone bad or things have gone south. And that normally helps me. That is one of the, in fact, I'm only going to, this is my channel, so I'm going to talk about my experience with suicide. I have never had that thought cross my mind ever. Whether it's my upbringing, my community, my religion, my environment, I don't know. I can't really pinpoint it because I went to school in the UK. I've traveled the world. I've seen it everywhere. I've lived through this pandemic just the same as everybody else has. I've been broke, I've had money, I've lost it again, I've been broke again, you know? I've been through it all, breakups, divorce, whatever you want to say. You know, we all go through that kind of shit, but never once has that ever crossed my mind. And why am I more stronger than the next guy? I don't think it is about strength. To a degree, yes it is, but I think mainly one of the reasons for me has been purpose. No matter how bad it's got in my life, I've always had purpose. I've always found a why. You know, if I want to use an example of Simon Sinek, I believe his name is. He's an all right author. One or two books are decent, but nothing great. Mainly business-related books, if you want to read his books. I'm not going to link below because I don't even know which books I've read. But I've just heard his audio books, a few of them anyway. And, you know, it is very important to find a why. The why for me at the minute, very cliche, is my daughter. It's not that I want to be around here to just see my daughter and watch her grow up and just, you know, stand there and make sure she sees me, you know, going through the motions. It's not that. It's more so to teach her something. But when you trying to teach a kid something, it's not, you can't really tell a kid, do this, do this, do that. Kids watch, kids observe. So you could tell a kid, don't do this, don't do that shit. But if a kid sees you do that, they're going to do it. Like, I'll give you a great example. If you say to the kid, don't shout, don't scream. But in your household, and you and your missus are shouting and screaming at each other, I will guarantee you your kid is going to grow up and shout and scream because that's what he saw. That's what he watched. Kids don't listen. Kids observe. They look what's going on. Okay, the parent's telling me this, but they're doing that. So I'm just going to copy what they're doing. And that's just how humans are. So one of the reasons for me is to be a role model for my wife. For my kid, for my child. There's no point being a role model for your wife. You've already got that. You've conquered that already. So you don't need to win any more points there. You don't need to prove nothing there. You've won that battle. But when it comes to your child, you obviously, you know, she's an impressionable person. That is, the mind is like a sponge. So she is absorbing everything. And where do they absorb things? At home and school. That's another topic as well I'm going to get into. Schools. I hate them. I'm just going to throw in a blanket statement. I don't think any child is fit to be in any school. I think the whole curriculum is wrong. I don't believe they should be away from the parents for 8 hours. 8 fucking hours. What are they learning at school for 8 hours a day? I hated school. I wasn't the bully. I wasn't bullied. I wasn't particularly clever. I wasn't in the last set either. In fact, I was for a few things. But, I wasn't stupid. I was more bored than anything. And it didn't serve me any purpose. When I see my friends, it didn't serve them any purpose. I know a couple of my friends, if you're watching this, you have studied at the highest level. I'm talking, the doctor degrees, the medical degrees, and far beyond that as well in qualifications. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but it doesn't really make much of a difference, to be honest with you. That's the way I see it. But that's always going to be my opinion. No one's going to change that. I'm kind of stuck in my ways when it comes to that. So the reason why I'm talking about schooling system is because that is where this starts. The negative mindset all starts there. Luckily for me, I never had that shit. But unfortunately for a lot of kids, it's being hammered down to them, whether they were bullied or whether they're just not accepted or didn't fit in. I don't know the main reason. I don't know the real cause. I'm only talking about my own personal experience over here. I went through life always determined to do something, whether it was in sport. In fact, it was always sport. Who am I kidding? Or finance, or business, or to make a business. Or, when you sign that lease, you're like, fuck, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to make something of this business. I've just invested all this money in it. I ain't going to sleep. I'm going to wake up middle of the night, write things I need to do, get out there in the morning, early morning, get to work, go to the gym, come home. Literally, I used to come home to shower, not even eat, just shower and get the fuck straight back out. Go to sleep for 4 or 5 hours and straight back out. And I always had something, like I said, the why. You need a reason. You need something. So this is going to be kind of a quick message, but we're going to break this into a few series because I'm learning about this as well. And I do understand it. I 100% understand why people do it. Trust me. I see it. It's happened to, I wouldn't say close friends of mine, but people that I've known pretty well, who I would never have thought would have done it. Never in a million years would I have thought, wow, that guy did that. Fucking crazy. Who am I to judge? I haven't been in that situation. I've never been in that position in order to do that. In fact, to be honest, I have been in the situations, I have been in the position, but it's never crossed my mind. And the reason why it's never crossed my mind is because the second that thought enters your mind, I change that. I switch it with a positive thought. And so sometimes the thoughts aren't positive. It's not that the thoughts need to be positive, but the thoughts need to be, how can I say this? They need to be something that you need to be like, I need to go and do that shit. You need to strive towards something. It doesn't have to be anything positive. You've got to think, you know what, fuck this, I want to do that. The second your girlfriend leaves you, your wife leaves you, whatever happens, and you're sat there and you think, oh, I'm so down in the dumps. I'm assuming this is just an assumption. I've got nothing left to live for, I'm going to go kill myself. Just think of something stupid. Now, for me, it's like, I need to get in shape. I need a six-pack. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to do fucking 1,000 press-ups, I'm going to do 1,000 sit-ups. I don't give a fuck how long it takes. I'm going to go and get a six-pack. Financial gain. I want a Lamborghini. I don't give a fuck what happens. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to try and earn a Lamborghini. And by the time it takes you to get to that, because getting a Lamborghini and getting a six-pack ain't fucking easy. If you get that Lamborghini, by the time you've got that Lamborghini, if it takes you 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, that's time that you've been focused on the Lamborghini. Just to give you an example, that's 7 years, 5 to 7 years, if it takes you to get there, and you eventually do get that Lamborghini, that you've not thought about killing yourself. That's a fucking bonus. And then when you get the Lamborghini, think of the Bugatti. That's another 10 years probably. But you get where I'm going with this. You need some sort of purpose in life. When you wake up and you're down in the dumps, one of the reasons I've never thought about suicide is because I've always had purpose. I've always got up with something in my mind. I jump out of bed. I never crawl out of bed. I never crawl out thinking, oh, what have I got to do today? I'll just get on my fucking phone. I'll play around. I'll see what's going on. No. Because I made a habit early on that the first thing that I do is some fucking cardio. We all know we need to eat breakfast. But the first thing I do is I always have this mentality, I'm going to earn my breakfast. So the first thing that I do When I get up, get the fuck out. Whether it's going for a walk, whether it's going for a jog, I don't jog very often, to be honest, or whether I go on the bike, do some sit-ups, do some press-ups, do some squats, do some lunges, or just go to the gym fasted. Whatever it is, I get up. I've programmed that in my mind from a fucking early age, and I believe that's one of the reasons I wake up with a mind that's agitated, anxious, and ready to go. And that's not a bad thing to be anxious. That's a good thing. Use that energy though. Use it. Don't just sit there with nervous energy and don't put it anywhere. Because if you don't put it somewhere, then you're going to start having those suicidal thoughts and so on. Or you're going to be thinking about shit that you shouldn't be thinking about. So the first things first, I try to get out and exhaust my mind. My mind is hyperactive. I find it hard. I struggle to sleep. Again, that'll be another video as well on how to get asleep. And I've got a very, very good tip for that, which I'll share in another video. But in this one, it's the first video I want to talk about mental health and why you shouldn't kill yourself. And I think I'm going to leave this video short and sweet with purpose. Make sure you find some sort of purpose, because if you've got purpose in life, you're going to get up, jump out of bed. When you're down in the dumps, think about shit. Think, hang on a minute, this isn't it. I've got shit to do. I still have jobs to fucking do. I've still got tasks to finish. I've still got boxes to tick, you know? I've got a list of goals in my phone that I often, update. And I will guarantee you this, 100% to myself as well, I will never be able to accomplish every single thing on there. Because the second I hit that goal, there's another fucking 10 goals. Hit the 10 goals, there's another 100 goals. And if you keep focused like that, you're always going to have things to strive towards. And it could be anything. I'll give you an example. Before buying this house, I had a goal of sitting down in front of my TV on my new sofa with my daughter watching some shit on Netflix. That was a goal. I achieved that goal. I sat down, I manifested it. It took me a long time to do that. But when I did it, I fucking felt good about it. It felt amazing. It was one of the best days of my life just to sit down and thinking, you know what? That hard work paid off today. But when I sat down and I enjoyed that little 5 seconds, I looked at my phone and thought, fuck, I've got a lot more to do. I better get fucking busy. So that is how you should be. That's how you should, react. And I don't go out. I don't celebrate much. I have hit many milestones recently, especially with the whole social media stuff. And I've always said to myself, I'm going to get 1,000 subscribers, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to get 1 million views on this video. And I achieved those things. And you know what I did? I shared it on Instagram. Boom, there you go. Did this. That's it's done. Who gives a fuck? Because the goals that I'm aiming for are way up there. This isn't a motivational kind of message if you want to look at it as that. In fact, you can see it as a motivational message. But like I said, I'm going over the same thing again and again. You need fucking purpose, because if you ain't got purpose, you're going to sit there twiddling your thumbs thinking, do you know what? I remember when that kid bullied me in school. I remember when that girl dumped me. I remember when those kids poked fun at me. I remember when my dad said this to me. I remember when my mum said that to me. When my uncle said this to me. And all that negative shit is going to come back to cloud your fucking mind. And when your mind's clouded and you're not thinking straight, it's a downward spiral from there. So I'm going to leave you this time for real with the message, find some fucking purpose in your life and don't kill yourself. Oh, by the way, this isn't True Geordie video, so I can't say this at the end because I'm still trying to grow here. It is a sincere video, but if you want more content like this, please comment down below. I want to see you guys interact a little bit so I know I'm making the right content. Hit the like button and subscribe.